Have you ever felt?
Are you listening? Damn.
We are gonna talk about the edge. Let's go right into it, guys. I'm gonna go with Ace. Don't tell me who your number 4 is. Don't say it.
Oh, you don't want me to say it? Oh,
go ahead.
I'm doing all right, man. Glad to be back as usual. But if we're kicking things off, I would probably say when I first looked at this, I thought that it would be my own team. I'm just gonna be real with you, because when I look at the other teams in the division, a lot of them have notable guys that stand out. But then I had to remind myself, I had to go back and look at some of the old episodes that we've done. And I've still got this team having, when we talk about just edge, this is just the position. This is not, utilizing another scheme to blitz guys and get pressure to the quarterback. We're just strictly going off of the edge. And for me, it has to be the Baltimore Ravens. For me, just because they don't have that premier pass rusher, not saying that we do, but they have a lot of question marks at the position. You talk about Jason Owe, a rookie coming in. We don't know what he is. He's kind of very raw. He's really surviving mostly off of his athleticism. I personally like the kid, so I'm not here to bash him. I think that, if you do have athleticism, that doesn't necessarily translate to skill, but that is something that you can fine-tune and kind of coach up and potentially coach him and mold him into an edge rusher that can be successful in this league. But with them losing so many edge rushers, I felt like they lost their 2 best edge rushers in this offseason. And to not really replace them was kind of concerning to me. I expected them to sign some of the veterans that were out on the market, especially by this point. You're talking about 2 weeks heading into camp. I thought that that's what their grand plan was. Let's go ahead and get a veteran that's cheaper that we can bring in and kind of do the whole Raven M&T retirement home thing. But nobody's checking into the retirement home so far. So for me, it has to be the Ravens, because when I look at Bowser, we kind of know what Tyvis Bowser is right now, right? And when it comes to getting sacks and maybe pressures, I'll throw the pressures in there as well. Not his forte. So from that side, and then you talk about Pernell McPhee, he's not really a edge rushing kind of guy. He's kind of a guy that sets the line and kind of defends against the run. Not to say that all you're looking at from an edge is just sacks. You kind of do want to have guys that set the edge. But for me, it's got to be the Baltimore Ravens. When I look at it, and I'm kind of shocked, and maybe it's not so shocking, because Sonny says they get most of their pressure with their linebackers. Maybe they're just going all in on that and not having to pay that, and maybe that's how they can afford to keep the secondary intact. I'm just going to hope that that's what their strategy is. But for me, it's got to be the Ravens.